chamber shall grant him his request so that he can follow the proceedings remotely from the holding cell downstairs. Based on the above information and pursuant to Rule 81.5 of the ECCC internal rules, the chamber grants Nuon Chea his request to follow today's proceedings remotely from the holding cell downstairs via an audio-visual means. The chamber instructs the AV unit personnel to link the proceedings to the room downstairs so that Nuon Chea can follow. That applies for the whole day. And before we begin hearing testimony of witness to TCW 850, the chamber wishes to inform the parties that the chamber received an email from the defense counsel for Khieu Samphan requesting to make an oral submissions or response to the lead co-lawyer's submissions on the scope of case 002/02 concerning the charges of rape outside the context of forced marriage, document E306/7. The chamber grants the request and the defense counsel for Khieu Samphan can make an oral submission concerning this matter at the conclusion of the testimony of witness to TCW 850. The chamber now proceeds to hear the testimony of witness to TCW 850. The chamber notes that this witness has been interviewed in the investigation into other cases, and the International Co-Investigating Judge put this witness in Group A of the three groups in its Memorandum of Understanding, that is document E319/35, and requests that this witness shall be referred to only by pseudonym for the purpose of protecting the confidentiality of the investigation. The chamber deems this limited measure is proportionate and according to the law in this case, and this instruction is to take also into balance of the publicity of the hearing as well as the integrity of the investigation. And for that reason, the chamber wishes to inform parties that they should adhere strictly to the instruction in document E319/7 in terms of the disclosures of documents from other cases. Court officer, please inform the chamber whether the AV link has been established. President, good morning, Mr. Witness. In the proceedings before this chamber and pursuant to the request by the International Co-Investigating Judge, you are referred to only by a pseudonym, that is through TCW 850, and the parties so referred to you only by this pseudonym. And the chamber will not allow the parties as well as judges of the bench to refer your name or your surname in this public proceeding. And duty counsel, Mr. Momratir, please refer the witness to document E3/9570. And witness, please identify yourself in document E3/9570 at Khmer EIN 00893175, English 00901043, and French 00974986. Please refer to the highlighted segment in orange concerning your name, nationality, date of birth, place of birth, occupation, names of your parents, your wife's name, and the number of children, whether the information is correct. And please limit your response to yes or no. And Mr. Witness, can you inform the chamber whether the information is correct? Answer. Good morning, Mr. President. The information in the document is correct. President, please confirm once again whether your brief biography in this document is correct. Witness, yes, Mr. President, it is correct. President, thank you. The greffier made an oral report this morning that to your best knowledge and ability, you are not related by blood or by law to any other two accused, that is Nunchi and Kir Sampon, or any civil party admitted in case 002. Is that information correct? President, witness, do you hear me? Witness, the sound transmission is interrupted intermittently. President, allow me to repeat my question. This morning, the greffier made an oral report that to your best knowledge and ability, you are not related by blood or by law to any of the two accused, that is Nunchi and Kir Sampon, or any other civil parties admitted in case 002. Is that information correct? Answer, I am not related to any of the two accused, that is Nunchi and Kir Sampon. President, thank you. And that you already took an oath before your testimony, is that correct? Answer, yes, it is. President, thank you. The Chamber would like to inform you of your rights and obligations as a witness. Regarding your rights, as a witness in the proceedings before the Chamber, you may refuse to respond to any question or to make any comment which may incriminate you. That is your right against self-incrimination. As for your obligations, as a witness in the proceedings before the Chamber, you must respond to any questions by the bench or relevant parties, except where your response or comments to those questions may incriminate you, as I have just informed you of your right as a witness. You must tell the truth that you have known, heard, seen, remembered, experienced, or observed directly about an event or occurrence relevant to the questions that the bench or parties pose to you. And Mr. Witness, have you been interviewed by investigators from the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges? If so, how many times, when, and where? Witness, Mr. President, I cannot hear you properly. President, allow me to repeat my last question. Have you been interviewed by investigators from the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges thus far? If so, how many times, when, and where? Please respond. Witness, investigators came to interview me at my house. Question, and before your appearance, have you read or reviewed written record of your interview with OCIJ investigator in order to refresh your memory? Answer: yes, I read it and I review it. Thank you. And to your best knowledge, can you tell the chamber whether that written record of your interview that you have read in order to refresh your memory is consistent with your statements you made to the OCIG investigators? Answer: after I read it and reviewed it, it is consistent with what I said. President, pursuant to Rule 91bis of the ECCC internal rules, the Chamber grants the floor first to the co-prosecutors to put question to the witness, and the combined time for the co-prosecutors and the lead co-lawyers for civil parties 2 court sessions, and you may proceed.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. I will try to speak slowly, but if you do not understand anything I say, please ask for clarification and we will repeat or clarify. Sir, I have various statements that you've made, and I want to just first confirm these to you, that you made these statements. First, we have 3 statements you made to the co-investigating judges. And those 3 statements were made first in July 2009, second in March 2013, and the last just in August of last year, August of 2015, last year. In addition, we have an interview that was done with you by DC Cam, by a person named Long Dani, who asked you to relate events where you had helped people during the democratic Kampuchea regime. And we have written summary of an interview with you by a filmmaker named Tet Sambat. Do you have all of those, sir? Is that true? Do you recall all of those interviews?
I do not fully understand your question.
You told us that you spoke to the investigators for this court. Is it also correct that in 2008, so 8 years ago, in the same commune that you're living in now, you spoke to someone from DC Cam called Long Dani, who asked you to tell about helping people during the democratic Kampuchea regime?
President, witness, please respond to the question. Mr. President, the transmission is intermittent.
we could inquire from the IT people whether they could improve it if we took a short break, or should I just proceed, Your Honor?
Somebody just went to check. We're just trying to figure out how long it will take.
The AV unit needs a few minutes to solve the technical glitch.
I'm wondering if we should have the discussion Your Honor mentioned, the Q-Sampan submissions, while we're waiting.
How long will you be?
2 minutes maximum. It's very, very short, in fact, yes.
President, I'd like now to hand the floor to the Defense Counsel to present their oral submission.
Thank you, Mr. President. I think that there might be a misunderstanding. I'm not presenting any observations responding to the civil parties. I simply would like to draw the Chamber's attention to the request that was filed on 18 March last by the civil parties regarding the scope of case regarding the charges of rape. So this is document E306/7. We responded on 28 March. Document E306/7/1, there was a following response from the civil party lawyers. And what we would like to request from the Chamber is if a decision is going to be issued as soon as possible, because with regard to the witnesses who are going to come to testify about the regulation of marriage, there are a certain number of statements that go beyond the simple fact of rape in the context of marriage. And for us to prepare our examination,
pour l'ensemble des parties.
I think it's the same for all parties. We should know what the Chamber's stance is in regard to this so that we can organize ourselves. So that's the simple thing I wanted to bring up now. And we, of course, understand that the segment is going to start soon. So we would like to just simply know how we can get organized. That's what I wanted to say. If you please allow me to respond, Mr. President.
You have the floor.
Yes, thank you. A short observation so that the Chamber may have all elements in mind. In our brief E306/7, which our colleague just spoke about, we simply requested clarification regarding the charges of rape in the security center at S21, Trancachan, and in Tramkop Cooperative. So that is the civil party's stance. The civil parties believe that the Chamber is seized of facts that may be characterized as rape in S21, at Klangtachang, and in Tramkok Cooperative. So we're only speaking about these three sites. And our brief E306/7, was limited to requesting clarification with regard to these 3 sites. Thank you.
President, AV unit, can you inform the chamber whether the link has been established again? International Co-Prosecutor, you may resume your questioning.
Sir, I had asked you about an interview you gave not to the court's investigators, but in 2008. We have an interview from the Documentation Center of Cambodia where you were interviewed by someone named Long Dani. And perhaps just to see if I can refresh your recollection a bit, he said to you in his opening remarks, in particular, I am interested in your good communication with people who were not base people, what communication you had with them, and how you helped them. Do you remember this interview? Mr. Witness, are you there? Can you hear me?
The transmission is sporadic.
Let me try a little bit more, and then we'll see if we need to take another break. Sir, I want to go over your biography a bit. Were you ever a monk?
Yes, I used to be a monk.
During the Civil War between 1970 and 75, did you join one of the warring parties? Did you join one of the forces?
I used to be a militiaman.
And was that for the revolutionary forces fighting against Lon Nol?
Yes, I was a militiaman. At that time, I belonged to the front force.
Thank you. Now, most of my questions will concentrate on what happened after the victory of those forces, after April 1975. Can you tell us, in 1976, did you go to Siang district?
Yes, I did. I went to live in Saang district.
Were you assigned there by the Khmer Rouge leadership?
The transmission is not good.
Let me try it again. Let me try another question. I'll move on. Did you hold the position of Deputy Secretary in Siang District?
Yes, that is correct.
In that year, 1976, were you reassigned to the Central Zone?
Yes, I was assigned there in 1978.
Well, sir, you actually were assigned there in 1976. Isn't that correct? Let me first see if I can remind you of something. You interviewed with DC Cam, and that interview was tape recorded. We have that interview on tape. And you said the following. I'm reading from E3/9149. In Khmer, the ERN is 00731242. In French, 011-01029. And in English, 011-16146. Mr. Witness, just so you know, these numbers I read out are for the judges. You don't have to worry about those numbers. But I'll read your answer, what you gave to DC Cam. You said that after the liberation in 1975, the zone and province appointed me to be responsible for the people and to be a member of Siang District. I worked there for a year. Then I became Deputy District Secretary working in Siang, where I worked for a year too. And then you said, in July 1976, the province or zone appointed me to come to the Central Zone. So is that correct? Does that refresh your recollection that you were sent to the Central Zone in July 1976?
No, it was not in 1976. In 1976 and 77, I was still in Saang.
Sir, you were the district secretary in Tang Kok district. Isn't that correct?
No, that is not correct.
Well, sir, we have statements of you where you've said that you were, and we have statements of other people. I could play, if it's necessary, the tape with you saying this. And this is what you said. You said, I came to Tang Kok district. You were then asked by Long Dani, did you come in order to be a secretary of Tang Kok district? You answered, yes, I did. I came there to take a position of secretary. Now, sir, I'm prepared, if necessary, to play the tape so you can hear your own voice. Does this remind you that you were the secretary of Tang Kok district? And I remind you, you're under oath.
បាទខ្ញុំមិនដែល
No, I was never assigned to Tramkok district, and there was probably problems with the recording.
Problem with the interpretation, because I just heard Tramkok. I'm saying Tangkok in the central zone.
មិនមែនតាមកក់ទេគឺតាំង
It is not Tramkok, it's Tangkok district.
Tangko. Thank you. So with that correction and my apologies, sir, were you the district secretary in the central district in Tangko district?
នៅ
At Tangkok, I worked there for a while.
Sir, let's play the audio tape then where you've said this, and I hope it's the first clip if the booth has it ready. If not, I can hold off on this and play it later. Sorry? I'm not sure how these clips have been labeled. It's about the Tangko. So I may have to ask Van Rick to come. Ask Van Rick to come with the list of audio clips. Sir, I'm going to play that for you later. I'm going to move on right now. In the same interview, you said the following. This is E39149. English is 011116147. Khmer is 00731243 to 44. And French 011 01030. You said after you were asked this question, after you had lived in Tangkok for 7 months, where did you go next? And you said, I moved to Bade district. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Who did you replace when you went to Bade district?
I did not remember whom I replaced at that time. But I want to confirm that I really went there.
Well, let me see if I can remind you. In your 2013 interview, E3/9570, you said you'd read these interviews over. In answer number 3, you said the following. Prak, Sector 25 Secretary during that time, decided to send me to Bade district. I was sent there to replace Mol, the former Bade district secretary. So did you replace Mol?
Yes,
Mul
Mu had been the district secretary in Bade, correct?
Ba Trạm Trạm
yes, that's correct.
So how long were you the district secretary in Bade?
Nhâm
I was in Barai district for about 4 or 5 months.
5 tới 4 khải bạn
It's about 4 to 5 months.
Sir, how long were you in Tangko? Were you ever in Tangko?
đâu ta cô
I did not stay long in Tangkok.
How long did you stay there?
nhâm mình chăm ở đây
I cannot recall everything because it happened a long time ago.
Okay, let me see if I can remind you. Let me first ask you, what position did you have in Tangko? Were you the district secretary?
cáiខ្ញុំមកដំបូងហ្នឹងគឺជាលេខាអនុប្រធានស្រុកហ្នឹងហើយគេនៅហ្នឹងគេជាប្រធាន
When I arrived at the beginning, I was appointed as the deputy district secretary, and there was another person who was the district secretary.
Who was that?
thì lần cứ
It was Chon.
Chon?
chọn
Chon.
Happens to Chon?
người chọn nó ខ្ញុំ
I don't know what happened to him. It was something that related to the sector level.
Is that Nut Chon alias Sur that you're speaking of?
ở ខ្ញុំចាំតែ
I can remember only his name, Chon.
Did you know Tulok Chiev? Let me ask my colleague to pronounce it.
Lốp chiều
Tlok Chiu.
Was he there when you were there?
bắt đây đừng
No, I do not know this person.
Well, sir, in your statement to the DC CAM, you said the following, and this is at 01116146. And in Khmer, it's at 007311243. In French, 011011029. You were asked why you had come to the Central Zone, and you said, I came to work in the district and be responsible for the district. Dani asked what district, and you said, Tangko. Danny asked, did you come in order to be a secretary of Tangko district? You said, yes, I did. I came there to take a position as secretary. Does that remind you that you became the secretary in Tangko?
ពេលនេះគឺខ្ញុំ
When I arrived, I was not yet assigned as the district secretary.
When did you become the secretary? After how many months?
ដូចខ្ញុំបានជំរាបហើយ
As I told you earlier, it was about 4 or 5 months.
So where did you go after Tenko?
ដូចខ្ញុំជំរាបយ៉ាងបាន
As I told you earlier, then I was assigned to Barai.
Well, sir, if what you told DC Cam is correct, that you went to the Central Zone in July 1976 and spent only 4 or 5 months in Tanko, that would mean you went to Barai at the end of 77 or at the end of 1976 or early 1977. Is that correct?
No, that's not true. It was in late 1978.
Okay. In Barai, what was your position?
ពេលនោះដូចខ្ញុំបាន
As I told you, when I arrived, Mall was removed and I was put in charge of the Barai district.
Okay, thank you. Now I have a question about something in your DC Cam interview that's E3/9149. In Khmer, it's at 0073-1244. In French, it's at 01101030. And in English, at 01116147. In talking about your time during the DK regime, you said this: if we spoke or did anything without any consideration, we would just need to be ready for death. Can you explain what you meant by that?
When I said so, I referred to the situation, the strict situation. I was fearful of my own safety.
Okay, thank you. Then you said the following on the same page. Then the 17 April people, or former Lon Nol soldiers, were sorted out. They were considered as the elements. Excuse me. You said people who were considered as the elements were sorted out. Can you explain what you meant by that?
At my own place, the place which was under my authority, I never sorted out the new people as what you have just talked about.
Okay, well, you don't say that you did it, but this is what you say. I'll repeat it. You said, then the 17 April people, or former Lon Nol soldiers, were sorted out. People who were considered as the elements were sorted out. Did you witness that? Did you see that happen? And if so, where?
បាទ ខ្ញុំមិនដែល
I never witnessed it.
Sir, did you receive orders to arrest people?
បាទអត់ទេខ្ញុំអត់
No, never.
Okay, sir, let me remind you of what you have previously told DC Cam. You said there were orders from the upper level to arrest those who opposed us. However, there was no such opposition. They listed the names of people to be removed. I said that in my district there was no opposition, and if they did not believe me, they could ask my deputy and members. Later, they took my deputy away. So, sir, you see, sir, I'm not saying... Sorry. I don't know how much of that got on the mic. I better repeat it. So you see, sir, from what I've read, you received orders to arrest those who...
President, the floor is given to the Defense Counsel for Khieu Samphan.
Oui, Monsieur le Président.
Yes, Mr. President, this is not an objection, but just so we can follow, we did not receive the references for this citation. So before we begin again, perhaps we could get those to follow at the same time.
Co-prosecutor, could you please tell us the identification number of the document?
It is at E39149 in Khmer 00731253. In French 011-01039, and in English 011-16153. So, sir, what you told DC Cam is that you received orders from the upper level to arrest those who opposed. They gave you a list of names to be removed, but that you said there was no opposition. Is that what happened?
I replied, I told them that there was no such things at my place.
You said something similar to a man named Tet Sambat. Do you recall being interviewed by a man named Tet Sambat who was making a film?
President, Mr. Witness, did you hear the question? If so, please answer. Witness, I have never been interviewed by Sambat.
Do you recall being interviewed by some people making a film, perhaps? Does that ring a bell for you?
No, I cannot recall it.
Well, sir, then let me read to you what has been written. However, I'm going to replace your name because you're protected. And this is at E34202. This is a book, The Enemies of the People. In English, the ERN is 00757-529, and on to the next page. In French, it's 00849-432. And in Khmer, it's 00858-335. And this is what he wrote. Your name was chief of Tangkok district, Tangko district, in Kampong Thom at the beginning of the Khmer Rouge regime. During a visit by Pol Pot, Brother Number One saw dozens of people being transported in trucks to Kampong Cham province. They were headed to their execution. Pol Pot asked where the people were being taken and who had given the order to move them. It then mentions again your name, said in an interview that he was surprised Pol Pot didn't know. He had assumed Brother Number One had given the directive. In 1977, K. Pok called you to a meeting and said he had received instructions from top leaders to investigate their cadre to find bad components. A regional chief gave, again, your name, a list of more than 300 names of people sent to his area from Phnom Penh. He, meaning you spent 3 months investigating the names before you told the region chief they had done nothing wrong. The regional chief blamed, and again it's your name, for finding no wrongdoing, and accused you of hiding the traitors. Does that refresh your recollection? Do you recall this?
No, I cannot recall it.
Well, let me ask you, if you were given a list of 300 people's names to be executed, would you remember that, or is that something you could forget?
No, I cannot recall it. And I have never received such a list.
Sir, did you witness any arrests or killings? Did you see anyone disappear in the districts you worked in the Central Zone?
No, I never witnessed it.
Well, let's just go back for a second to what I had just read to you from what you told DC Cam. Again, we have this on tape, but it's going to take time to play the tapes to you. And let me just read to you again something else you said. Remember, I had said, and this is again on the same page I had last listed for the DC Cam in E39149. After you said later, you said, and if they did not believe me, they could ask my deputy and members. You said later they took my deputy away. His name was Chon. Chon. And you said Chon was removed, and so was Jen. So were your deputies removed?
ចាំថារឿងឆោត
I remembered only about Chon.
What do you remember about him?
ខ្ញុំអត់ចាំ
cannot recall it.
Disappear?
អត់ឆនហ្នឹង
Chon was called by the sector for study session, and I did not know what happened to him. He disappeared.
When someone was called to study sessions and disappeared, what did you think happened to them?
បាទតើ
When people disappeared, it was sure that they had issues.
I see. Let me read the end of what you told Tet Sambat. This is again in the book Behind the Killing Fields, E3/4202. On the next page in English, and in French it's 00849-432. In Khmer, 00858-336. What you told these authors is that thousands, it says, quote, thousands in his district were eventually executed as spies, with quotation marks, and then your name, you said. So were thousands of people executed as spies in your district, sir?
No.
Okay, sir, let me just remind you again, you are under oath. You cannot get in any trouble for what you're saying. There's no, for admissions to crimes, there's no further cases that are going to occur here, and you've been given a letter indicating it will not be used against you. However, you are required to tell the truth and could be punished if you perjure yourself. Let me read something else you told DC Cam. This is E3/9149. Khmer 0073-1247. In French, it's 011-01033. And in English, 011-16149. You said, quote, the upper level ordered us to take action, including punishment or killings. What did you mean when you told DC Cam that the upper level ordered you to take action, including killing?
President witness, do you understand the question? And if so, please respond. Witness, I do not fully understand the question. President co-prosecutor, please repeat your last question or reformat it.
Let me read to you again what you told DC Cam. You said, quote, the upper level ordered us to take action, including punishment or killing. Is there any reason why you would make that up and tell that to DC Cam if it wasn't true?
ខ្ញុំលើ
I cannot recall that I made such a statement that you just read out.
Well, it's in that interview, which again is tape recorded. Do you recall the upper level, as you said, ordered you to take action, including killing? Did you do that action? Did you refuse to do that action?
No, I never took such action.
តាហ្នឹងក៏អត់ខ្ញុំអត់ដែលបានទទួលដែរ
And I never received such orders.
And this would be an appropriate time for the break if you wish. Is this the normal time?
Thank you, co-prosecutor. It is now convenient for a short break. We take a 20-minute break and resume after.